This is the first one at CPS. This is the suicide bomber.
Kati yatuuse ku motoka za poliisi n'anyiga bbomu n'etulika.
There's another balloon. There was another camera that captured him.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video, the video you just saw was a very somber video. In the video, which was filmed in Kampala only 3 days ago, you will see a gentleman and he's wearing a rucksack and he walks up to a police checkpoint. When he gets very close to the police checkpoint, he detonates what looks to be an improvised explosive device. That's an IED that he was carrying inside of his rucksack. It vaporized the person that was carrying it, and a lot of the people, sorry, 3 of the people that were standing by and 7 people were severely injured by the blast. Couldn't help but think, just so many memories came to my mind. I started thinking about 7-Eleven.
Liverpool Street Station here in London.
Now, at least 9 people very seriously injured and trapped, and the whole of the London Underground is now shut.
Which was a similar attack which happened in London. Back in 2005, I think. He hit really close to home because of the gentleman that carried out that act. The people who carried out that act, 3 of those guys were British Jamaican, like me. A lot of people forgot about them, and clearly they didn't like what they did and they hated them for who they were. And I thought to myself, what about them? What about their families? I'm sure they didn't know that they had been conditioned in this way, to act in this way. And of course, I always find it strange to see people do things like this on the continent. African continentals tend to be the most head stable people anywhere on this earth because they're constantly thinking about the next stages of their lives. They know that no matter how bad things are, it's not going to stay that way, and that they just keep plugging on. It's that type of resilience. It's something that I want to instill into my children, because you don't get it when you're here in the West. They'll moan about whether their iPad loses battery or whether they ran out of money on Fortnite. Those are the types of problems that we have, the Western problems that we have, which aren't really problems. And it turns our children into softies. Life is all about balance, eh? In today's video, I wanted to speak a little bit about the safety concerns in that part of the country and also in other parts of West Africa. But first I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting the channel on our Patreon, link in the description. I'd also like to ask you to please follow the Oversight channel, the channel that is there to help you to invest on the African continent both safely and securely. Link also in the description. Oversight is a risk management company. So this is one of the things that we look out for. I heard a story, and this was quite some time ago actually, this was like 20 years ago, that I heard somebody who was in the security forces from the UK speaking about how Africa and the Middle East is different. He said that in the Middle East, it's different because when you're in the Middle East, there are signs, there are things that you can see, that, you know, and you can sort of put them together, right? And when you put those signs and those pieces together, it gives you like a sixth sense, like it enhances what you can see, and you get that spider sense, you know, sixth sense to know that you are in danger. So you can do something about being in danger before you get into danger. And he said about Africa, he said Africa is completely different. It goes from 0 to 100 like that. Couldn't help but think that he's just spewing out the same Euro trash that they've been spewing into all the other Europeans and of course diasporans like me for a very long time. But after seeing that video, I thought, oh my gosh, is it a dangerous place? Are we sending diasporans back to Africa to deal with things which they would have never have had to have dealt with over in the United States? Are we sort of jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire? I had to stop myself, because clearly this is on the media platforms. If this would have happened in Manchester, we've seen it happen in Manchester, there was videotape of it happening in Manchester, but it didn't get out onto YouTube, did it? You didn't see the gentleman do what he had to do on the tape, even though the exact same thing happened and it was filmed. Why not? Because the Western media like to humanize Westerners, whereas we and everybody else, you know, they can show pictures like this on prime time television, you know, because it's like a fly getting stamped on or something. It's nothing, and it's part of this long, protracted way that they have of teaching their children as they're growing older about their place and about our place in their countries. So I'm not stupid, right? But still it happened, and it happened because of, and listen, I'm going to make an assumption that this person was conditioned by an extreme form of Islam. But it's not something we haven't seen before. We've seen it before over in, I think it was in London, 7-Eleven, and now we've seen it here. I don't like saying bad things about the Abrahamic religions, but really they are Abrahamic religions and they're not from our continent. So is our continent the right place for these Abrahamic religions to be in? And I'm being serious. I'm being absolutely serious. When I'm looking at this, I'm asking myself, is it truly our fit? Is it the right fit for us? Now, I've got my own answer to this. I believe it still is, because I believe that the Abrahamic religions have done a lot more good lately. They bring a lot more stability now, right? As if they were to be taken away, it would be disastrous. It wouldn't be able to do it over a short period of time. It would have to be done over a prolonged period of time. Okay, if that was to happen. And guys, I'm sorry if I'm saying this thing, but I'm sorry, I'm being honest with you. I know I've spoken about this before, and other people have gone, well, Christianity is from our continent. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, is that the case? Is Christianity from the African continent? Let me know in the comments section below if you think that, because I know some of you do think that. I know some of you also think that Islam is also from the African continent. I'm not a historian, so I don't know the answers to these questions. All I know is that they may have come from the continent many, many years ago, when our continent wasn't even called our continent, many years ago when things were different. But now, in modern times, and I'm talking 300 years ago, we didn't have that. We did not have that. 300-400 years ago, we had our own thing. We didn't have to worry about what everybody else was doing, because what we had was so beautiful and so pure. I believe people got jealous of it and tried to erase it, and spoon-fed us the BS that they're spoon-feeding us right now and spoon feeding our children, that's allowing our children to stick on these rucksacks with IEDs in them and vaporizing themselves and doing everything in their power to hurt their brothers and sisters around them. It's not right. Something needs to be done about it. Even though I don't call myself a Pan-Africanist, it's the part of Pan-Africanism that I love. This is something we can do. We can clearly do something about it, but it's going to take an organised, concerted effort, and I really hope we get to that point in which we do unify and bring peace to the continent through our own making and not through the making of some guy in a $1,000 suit who sits in Brussels. So, guys, I didn't really answer the question, is Africa safe? It is. It is. I'm watching videos on people travelling Africa right now, and a lot of them are amazed at how safe it is. The continent is absolutely massive, and the things that you see happening there are happening in one country out of 54. So please, I wouldn't be deterred about going if you hear about this incident. Don't worry. Do your research. Stay in safe places. Like, I wouldn't go up to northern Nigeria with my family. Not right now. There are too many girls who are getting taken at this present moment in northern Nigeria, so I wouldn't take my young girls up to northern Nigeria. You know, so this is the way I see it. Just do your research, stay safe, and everything will be fine. You don't have to worry, and be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. If you go back and spread it all around that there's these, you know, extremists are doing this and that and the other on the continent, you're only adding to the problem. You're only adding to the plight of the African people. Be careful about what you say, and just live life and love Africa. What do you think? Do any of you have any second thoughts about going to Africa? Do you have thoughts about your safety in Africa? Are you a Muslim? Do you think that what I said is rubbish? Are you a Christian? Do you think what I said is total rubbish and that... Or maybe you're a Christian and you think that Islam needs to go. Are you a Muslim and you think Christianity needs to go? Let me know in the comments section what you think about this. It'd be really good to hear your opinions on this. So guys, that's all I've got time for today. And I'd like to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'd like to give an extra special thank you to my patrons. And I'll see you in the next one. Until the next time, please think twice. To our